Hi, I'm Sylvia Mayer, an arbitrator, mediator, and attorney located in Houston, Texas, serving as a neutral in cases all around the country. Thank you for clicking on Mayer on mediation and arbitration. Today, I want to talk to you about mediations when one party is just stuck and immovable. So I, as a mediator, believe that all cases, or at least most cases, can be settled. But that doesn't always mean that they can be settled at every moment along the life of the case. You have to find the time when parties are both receptive to finding a path to resolution. And so to illustrate this point, I'm going to share with you a little bit from a children's book called Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus by Mo Willems. Now, if you haven't read this book, it first of all is a classic, but let me tell you a little bit about it. We are the audience, and at the beginning of the book, the bus driver says to us, I'm going to step away for a few minutes. Can you watch the bus? Whatever you do, don't let the pigeon drive the bus. So now it is up to us. And here comes the pigeon. First, the pigeon tries to befriend us and ask very nicely to drive the bus. May I please drive the bus? I'll be your best friend if you let me drive the bus. The pigeon moves through a series of different tactics. The pigeon tries crying and whining and begging and pleading to ask us to let the pigeon drive the bus. The pigeon resorts to screaming and yelling. The pigeon tries to bully us into letting the pigeon drive the bus. The pigeon tries everything imaginable to try and get us to let the pigeon drive the bus. Throughout the whole book, we stand firm. We say no. So let's explore this a little bit. Why? Why do we always say no? Well, there's a lot of different reasons why we say no. The pigeon's ask was unrealistic. The pigeon's ask was unsafe. The pigeon's position was inflexible. And the pigeon's ask was without regard to anyone else's needs or interests, safety or concern. Sometimes pigeons come to mediation. Now, sometimes the pigeon shows up in mediation at the beginning of the day. And through the mediation process, we can use different tools to explore issues, concerns, interests, wants, needs. We can reality test, we can reframe, we can help parties move away from where they were when they walked in the door. And when they walked in the door, they were at no, right? Because that's the only reason they came to mediation. We can help parties move from there to a place that allows us to have a settlement, a resolution. But sometimes you have a party who is stuck like the pigeon. Their views never waver throughout the mediation. Their position remains unrealistic, perhaps unsafe. They are inflexible. They take no regard for other parties' needs, wants, or interests. So what I have found, and what I've found is the way to handle that is time. A lot of times the issue is somebody has come to mediation perhaps too early or too late. So if it's too early, then you can take time. You can adjourn the mediation and give the parties time to do discovery, to do legal research. Perhaps they need to get a preliminary ruling from the court on a pivotal issue that then helps us move forward past that. So sometimes it is simply that it's too early and something else needs to happen before the pigeon is able to look beyond the pigeon's one and only demand and desire. Sometimes it's too late. And the issue is that everybody is now completely cemented into their position and they are unable to change. And maybe it's both parties or all parties if it's a multi-party dispute, but sometimes it's only one party. And in those situations, what I have done in a few cases is I have adjourned the mediation and told the parties that I'll come down to the courthouse. And so they go to court and they may start. And then on the lunch break, we might have a little mini mediation session, because now they've had a chance to start seeing how the judge responds, or if this is a jury case, gets a sort of a feel for where the jury may be coming out. I have had cases where parties have then gone back to the court and said, can we take the afternoon off so that we can continue working with the mediator? And so I have found that most of the time, when you have a pigeon who shows up at mediation and is immovable because they are unrealistic and inflexible and cannot take into consideration anyone else's needs, that time is often the way to solve that problem and to help them reach a point where they become receptive to resolution and are able to move beyond that and to try to resolve the dispute. Thank you for joining me today. Please connect with me on LinkedIn or subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have any questions, please comment below.